He's been listening to days of statements from his victims. Some of America's biggest banks are saying no to Bitcoin, telling customers they can't use their credit cards to buy the cryptocurrency. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Have you noticed what's going on at Oakland Feed and Seed? Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinders, $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Spindale, locally owned and operated.
We could see a few areas of fog or low cloudiness early on today. Otherwise, it looks like we'll be turning mostly sunny to start the week. And we'll have cool temperatures and decreasing humidity. Highs will reach about 43 to 49. Tonight, look for mainly clear skies. It'll be fairly cold with light winds or lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Tuesday will bring lots of sunshine, some fair weather clouds at times, and we'll run warmer tomorrow. Highs about 50 to 56. We'll have a chance of rain return on Wednesday. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
After the wet and wild Sunday morning we had, it's going to be a mostly sunny day today with highs up around 46 and light wind. Moving toward midweek, Wednesday, there is another shower expected, 90% chance with highs around 55 on Wednesday. Wednesday night, 40% chance of showers and lows around 33. So it'll be right close to that freezing mark on Wednesday night, but right now they're not anticipating anything. Mostly sunny on Thursday, mostly sunny on Friday with highs staying around low 50s. And then on Saturday, there is a 60% chance of rain. And Saturday night and Sunday, again, another shower with highs around 57. No freezing possibilities there. And again, right now, we are 38 degrees here at WCAB in beautiful downtown Whiteside Road in Rutherford. 6 minutes after 7. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Marjorie Gosey, age 81, of Forest City, died Saturday at Henderson Care. The funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Thursday at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel with Reverend Chad Hayes officiating. Burial will follow in Gooch Creek Baptist Church Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Marjorie Gosey. Hoyle Henson, age 67, of Forest City, died Sunday at Holly Springs Senior Center. A funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Wednesday at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel with Reverend Scott Mooningham officiating. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Hoyle Henson. Glenn S. Hutchins, 84, of Rutherfordton, died Sunday at Mission Hospital in Nashville. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced later by McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services. And again, that's Glenn S. Hutchins. Delilah Smith Hernandez, age 66, of Forest City, passed away Saturday, February the 2nd. The family will receive friends today from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock at Crow's Mortuary and Chapel. Burial will be held at Holly Springs Baptist Church Cemetery in Holly Springs Road, Rutherfordton. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Delilah Smith Hernandez of Forest City. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. Complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard today at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. Well, over Saturday, UNC had a good night. Good day, 96-65 over Pitt, and they will be playing Duke on Thursday night. Tonight, you could hear Roy Williams live at 7 o'clock. He'll be talking about that game and up-and-coming games ahead of us as you stay tuned to Tar Heel Sports here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. Be sure to get your Valentine's into us. The Be My Baby weekend promotion is coming up soon. Valentine's Day is almost here. So get your card to us, your Valentine, your name and your sweetheart's name in it, and the telephone number, how we can get in touch with you should you win. We have a lot of great prizes lined up for preliminary prize winners as well as the grand prize. You don't want to miss this Be My Baby weekend promotion, courtesy of your love station, AM 590 WCAB in Rutherford. Now stand by for the morning update with Rush Limbaugh, and then we'll get to the phone calls to find out what's been going on around our neighborhood while we slept overnight and through the weekend on the very popular Morning Call Around News Report here on WCAB, Northland Cable Channel 5, and on the World Wide Web.
In 2010, Army Private Bradley Manning, cisgender male at the time, was arrested for passing along classified information, including national defense secrets. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 35 years in jail. 7 years later, after an all-expense-paid sex change operation, Chelsea Manning was given a get-out-of-jail-free card by President Obama, and liberals were ecstatic. In 2013, NSA contractor Eric Snowden fled the country, leaked thousands of highly classified government documents to the Washington Post and the New York Times. He was granted asylum by Russia, where he still lives, and liberals labeled him a hero. On January 11th, The Post was released, a movie celebrating the Washington Post going up against the government to publish the Pentagon Papers, a secret government study about the Vietnam War, while we were still at war. Despite being warned that they would put national security at risk, liberal elites applauded then and are applauding the movie now. Now, these same liberals, after smugly defending the leaking of classified government secrets for years, now insist that a 4-page memo detailing actions by agents of the Obama regime to thwart Trump's campaign should remain secret for the sake of national security. How long until the left makes a movie romanticizing Devin Nunes for going through channels to release a memo in accordance with the law? Don't hold your breath. It'll never happen. Say, when it comes to identity theft, you have a choice, folks. You can rely on monitoring your credit and checking your bank statements, or you can get LifeLock to see more. LifeLock is able to see things you might not be able to see, like someone getting an online payday loan in your name. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of threats. And if you have a problem, one of LifeLock's specialists will work with you to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you'll have identity theft protection that allows you to see more identity threats than you may otherwise miss. Memberships start $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And you can get a 10% discount by using promo code RUSH. Just call 800-440-4833 or go to LifeLock.com and use the promo code RUSH. That's RUSH. 10% off. LifeLock 800-440-4833.
It's another long winter.
600 years.
No, it'll be gone soon.
I'm waiting!
In the meantime, keep warm with us. Today's hits and yesterday's memories. Family-friendly AM 590, WCAB.
Be the best Valentine for your Valentine. Send in a card to WCAB and be in the drawing for fabulous prizes, including dinner for two, chauffeured limousine ride to dinner, flowers, jewelry, candy, massages, and much more. Send a Valentine with your name and your sweetheart's name and your phone number. Tell us your favorite love song, and you could be the lucky winner. There'll be several daily drawings with some really nice prizes throughout the week of February the 12th. The preliminary prize winners will still be eligible for the grand prize drawing. The grand prize drawing will be held on Tuesday morning, February the 13th at around 8:45 on the Morning Show with Jim Bishop. The mailing address is WCAB, Post Office Box 511, Rutherford, North Carolina 28139, or you can just bring it to us here at 191 Whiteside Road in Rutherford. Now, it must be in our hands no later than 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. Good luck, and stay tuned to see who is the lucky winner.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Well, one of the best places to eat Rutherford County food is right here at home at Gregory's Original. A lot of places are closed on Mondays, but Gregory's is open. You can enjoy fresh and delicious burgers, subs. Those grinders are outstanding. Pastas, garden salads, or thick steaks prepared to perfection. You've got a one-trip salad bar. You can go as many times as you want to. Just place your order, whichever one you like. Call on Gregory's for any catering events you might have coming up. From simple to elaborate, Gregory's can deliver an elegant table fit for a king or queen. Choose Gregory's for lunch or dinner today. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturdays 4 to 9. They're located in the Park Lane Plaza in Ruffton. Or you can call them at 287-2171.
In late 1887, Tom Henry and some thugs came to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and headed for the nearest bar. Shortly afterwards, City Marshal Joe Carson came into the bar to enforce the no-gun ordinance. Tom Henry and his men just laughed at the marshal. Marshal Carson left to get his deputy, who just happened to be mysterious Dave Mather, a man who became one of the Old West's most notorious killers. When they returned, a gunfight ensued. Mather killed 2 of the men and wounded another, but the gang members killed Marshal Carson. The 2 unscathed gang members escaped, only to be captured on February 6, 1888. They were put in jail along with their wounded companion, who incidentally had never been given medical treatment. That night, a lynch mob, led by Deputy Dave Mather, entered the jail, grabbed the 3 killers, and took them to a nearby windmill. Having but one rope, they started with the wounded outlaw. The rope was put around his neck, and he was hoisted up. But they didn't tie his hands, so he grabbed the rope above the noose and pulled himself up while crying for mercy. By now, I'm sure some of the crowd was having second thoughts. At this point, the murdered Marshal Carson's wife stepped forward and stopped the lynching. She was able to effectively do this by pulling a pistol from her dress and shooting at the prisoners. And it was but a short time when the crowd, taking her lead, joined the marshal's wife and filled the outlaws with bullet holes. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
All right, we're all set to go for another Monday, another week here, February the 1st, full week, February the 5th, first full week in February. So let's get started now with our morning report. And Deputy Henderson is on the phone with me right now from the Sheriff's Department to get us going. Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good, sir. How are you?
Doing great, thanks. Tell us what's been going on over the weekend.
All righty. In the last 48 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 177 calls, processed 13 arrests, and currently have 170 incarcerated. For our incident reports, we have Jonathan Pollock of Andy Drive, Forest City, reported injury to personal property. Rena Nito from New Hope Road and out of Georgia reported a breaking and entering felony with larceny breaking after the fact of breaking and entering. Virginia Epley, McIntyre Road, reported injury to real property. Charles Irvin, Memorial Road, Forest City, reported breaking and entering felony with larceny after breaking and entering. Patty Davis from 74 Business Ellenborough reported breaking and entering of a motor vehicle with misdemeanor larceny after the fact. Robert Rushing from Allen Drive reported a discharge of a weapon into an occupied vehicle. And Teresa Long out of Hams Ridge Road, Mooresboro, reported larceny of a motor vehicle. For our arrest report, Robert Black from Cordary Road was arrested and charged with possession of Schedule II controlled substance. Terry Parsons from Andy Drive, Forest City, was arrested and charged with injury to personal property and injury to real property. Danielle Fincannon from Hines Road, Mooresboro, was arrested for assault on female communicating threats. Dorothy Gargis from Rebel Lane, Mill Springs, was arrested on failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Daniel Lancaster out of Seaboard Road was charged for failure to return rented property. and Curtis Bailey from Brookway Drive was arrested and charged with assault by strangulation and assault on a female. And that's all we have this morning.
David Henderson, we do appreciate that report, and you be safe out there today.
Thank you, sir.
See you now. Bye-bye. And cloudy skies right now, but it should be turning up to sunny skies today. Mostly sunny with highs around 46 degrees.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style of furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Here's Jessica now with a report for us from the Communications Center. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
What's on the report today?
In the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 606 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 82 for EMS, 17 for rescue, 177 for the Sheriff's Office, 103 for Forest City, 6 for Lake Lure, 63 for Rutherfordton, and 145 for Spindale. For the fire calls, Bills Creek responded to a structure fire. Assisting departments was Lake Lure and Fairfield. Ellenboro responded to a residential fire alarm. Forest City responded to a motor vehicle accident. Hudlow responded to a structure fire. Assisting departments was Forest City and Spindale. And Hudlow responded to a motor vehicle accident, and that is all.
Jessica, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. 21 past 7. Today we're being kind to Michelle Moore of the Chase community. Michelle turns 46 today, so we want to wish her a happy birthday. When you want some sound facts about better hearing, go see Lisa Terry at Miracle Ear in Forest City. She is the source for great information. Millions of satisfied Miracle Ear customers worldwide, and there is no better respected, a well-known brand in hearing aids than Miracle Ear. Why not schedule your free hearing test today by calling 828-368-4126. You may want to ask about the Miracle Air Genius 2.0 with the advanced technology. The high-def sound quality adapts to your surroundings automatically. It zeroes in on conversations while reducing distracting background noise. It prevents those embarrassing whistling noise that can occur sometime. There are so many features you'll appreciate about the Miracle Air Genius 2.0. Ask Lisa about it today. You'll find her at 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102, or that phone number is 828-368-4126. A-plus rating by the Better Business Bureau. Ruby Taylor is there to give us a report from the Danieltown SDO Fire District. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on that report, Ruby?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls. And on my birthday counter, I got Jordan Kentner, Zadman Branch, Donna Aldridge, and Sarah Hamburg having birthdays today. Hope all these people have a nice day. And the signs are in the secrets today and tomorrow. And Jim, that's all I got.
Thanks, Ruby. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We have Dale Ramsey in this morning, a little after 8 o'clock, about 8:10 this morning. His friends of the NRA. He'll be here to talk a little bit about some events coming up. So be sure to tune in. We'll have the job market report with Terry Thomas a little after 8 and Dale Ramsey. Then at 8:30 this morning, Word of Faith Fellowship continues telling their side of the story here at 8:30 this morning, exclusively on WCAB. New shipment of Red Band stick candies available at our friends over at Washburn Store. Tomatoes, $1.49 a pound, and Wisconsin June cheese. All that plus much, much more at Washburn Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. You'll enjoy visiting even if you don't know what you want. You'll find something, I'll bet you. I haven't seen that in a long time. I've been looking for that. There it is at Washburn Store. Go see them sometime real soon. Now we're getting up to Rumney Ball area this morning, a beautiful Monday morning, and here's Steve on the phone. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Jim. 39 degrees this morning, and it's February, so you can't ask for better than that.
That's a whole lot better than yesterday morning, I'll say.
It was, and we had some ice issues. We had to do a delay for our resort operations to 11 a.m. is when we started. Normally we get started around 7:38.
Yeah.
Based on what you're in here for, but no, we had a good bit of ice. It really stuck to the trees for a while, stuck on the road for a while. So we're glad that we didn't have any incidents related to it that we know about anyway.
Yeah. Quite a few churches called off their service yesterday morning or delayed the earlier services for later in the day, so it was a pretty treacherous morning there for a while.
It was pretty interesting. A good thing it was on a Sunday when you really don't necessarily have to get out in the traffic. Most folks don't. A lot of us work on Sundays, but for the most part, as far as I know, we didn't have any problems associated with it because we got the word out there and people heeded to those our warnings. So
good.
Yeah, so we're good there. We didn't have any incidents related to it. So we're fortunate for that, and better weather today. It's Monday. I'm sure people are anxious to get out of the house.
Yes.
And go to work or wherever. So.
Well, a lot of people won't be going to work today because they're still tired and sleepy and sick from last night's Super Bowl celebration.
That was some. Actually, that's the first game I watched all year.
Really?
Yep. From start to finish. Yep, it sure was.
Well, it was a good game, apparently. I watched in and out of it, and then I watched it up until they tied it up again, and I went on to bed.
Yeah, well, it was quite a finish, and
well, I'm glad the underdogs won.
Yeah, that's true. I just had to hear some smack from some folks for a while, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
I didn't have a dog in that fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so.
All right. Well, you got everything under control, it sounds like, so we'll leave you alone and check back in with you tomorrow morning.
We'll be here, Jim.
Thanks, Steve.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
Here's Bob Hodge. He's over in the Hudlow Fire District, keeping his eye on things for us. Bob, how you doing this morning?
Pretty good this morning for Monday morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful morning, it looks like.
That's right. I guess a lot of people stayed up late last night.
Well, a lot of folks did.
Game.
I didn't, but did you?
I didn't either. I went to bed.
Yeah. Well, I watched some of it. I in and out with it, and then I flipped over there. Third quarter, watched the third quarter and part of the fourth quarter, and then I went on to bed.
Yeah, well, that was something there. The underdogs pulled it off. And
it did, yeah.
Yeah, knocked Brady out of another championship there, I guess. So.
Well, he only has so many fingers he can wear those rings on, so he need to give those rings up, let somebody else wear one.
That's right. Let somebody else wear one. Oh. Well, Jim, up there with the fire department, over the weekend, I say we answered a vehicle accident call on Oscar Justice Road. And we had 3 or 4 medical calls. Had 2 calls to trees down in the roadway. And then last night we had a structure fire, 367 Kingswoods Drive off of Hudlow Road, and we assisted by Spindale and Forest City on that fire. And that's about it so far with the fire department. And maybe things will quieten down a little bit, and we'll have a good day up here today. And look like the rain moved out, and won't be too bad today.
Yeah.
At least it's not down to freezing this morning.
Well, I know it feels good out there. I was glad to hear also that we did not hear about any trees being down or any power lines down. I think everybody got through the weekend without a power loss.
Yeah, we had a couple of calls yesterday morning for trees down, but it didn't bring any lines down or anything, so maybe it probably didn't have any power out or anything. So, but that was about it. I guess everybody's careful yesterday morning and everything. But at least it turned out it could have been a lot worse than it was there. Yes. So a lot more ice and everything. But the trees looked pretty. But
they did, didn't they?
Yes, they did. But, Jim, you take care and have a good day, and I'll talk to you in the morning.
Bob, I appreciate it. I look forward to that. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye. We're being kind today to Michelle Moore of the Chase community. Michelle's having a birthday today, so we want to wish her a happy, happy birthday. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Well, if this was the year that you promised the family that you would do something about those floors, the carpeting, or the tile, don't let them down. Go ahead and make arrangements to talk with their good friends over at Southern Carpet, because they have more on hand, ready to install high-quality floor products than any dealer in this area. And they have a lot of answers to the questions you might have, because when it comes to time to redo the floors, there's a lot of questions pop up. So you need to talk with a professional who's been doing this a long, long time. Since 1993, Joel and Lynn Toney set out to be the best they could be in the carpet and floor covering business, and they brought their son Clayton to the business with the same work ethic. It's a company you can depend on and trust for those decisions and getting those floors back up to shape. 1512 West Main Street, across from North State Gas Company. That phone number is 245-0310, and you'll find them on the web at southerncarpet.net, and also you can like them on Facebook. Here's Sue Price now with our report from the Cherry Mountain Fire District. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. Hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Good. I've got 32 degrees over here this morning, so it's cold out there, but it's going to be a nice day. Looks like that'll be good. Yesterday was sort of messy, but that went all right. We just stayed in. We didn't have church yesterday. Our pastor lives up on Maple Creek Road, and he called and said it was so icy up there. And
yeah, I'm sure.
And it was on down at the church. We didn't have any right here around us, but on down at the church and over at Big Springs, they said there's a good bit of ice. So it was around, and everybody, I hope, was careful. We didn't have too many wrecks. Maybe people going to get out no matter what. Let's see. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my calendar just today. Fairview's got a birthday for Michelle O'Loughlin, so I hope she's going to have a good day. And nothing on First Broads for today, so not too many celebrating, but we have those that are having birthdays and anniversaries. We'll have a good day. In my announcements, there will be a celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday, February 12th, at the Lincoln Center in Bostic. Cupcakes will be served, and a hill tour will leave at 2 o'clock. So if you want to see the birthplace, come on out and enjoy that tour. And we hope they'll have a good day for that and a good turnout. And so far, that's the only announcement I've had come in. It's just been quiet over here, and that's the way we like it. So quiet and calm, and looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Keep up the good work, Sue, and I'll check in with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
33 minutes after 7 o'clock. Next Tar Heel game we have will be Thursday, UNC versus Duke. That should be a good one. 6:30 countdown tip-off, and we'll join that countdown and pregame show right after News 13 at 6.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Loop Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. Now it's 7:35, and here at WCAB in beautiful downtown Whiteside Road, we have 38 degrees. Let's head up toward Union Mills and get the report from Brenda Kelly. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Excuse me, I'm fine except for this cough. I just can't get rid of it.
But you're feeling better?
I'm feeling better, yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, that cough's a lingering cough, they tell me.
I believe it. They've convinced me.
Yeah.
I wasn't too interested in the Super Bowl, although I thought, well, I'd like for Philadelphia to win, so they did.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. But the main thing I was worried about was Carolina, and they pulled it off, so I was glad.
Well, you keep hoping for Thursday night now. They're going up against
Duke. Yeah. But we hope everybody's having a good morning. I've got 28 degrees on the front porch. Birthdays today, I've got Malachi Hip and anniversary, Gary and Janelle Kemp, so we hope these people have a great old big day. And in ways of announcements, we got a buffet breakfast at the Gilkey School Community Center. Starts at 7 a.m. and goes to 10 a.m., and this will be Saturday the 10th. Adults are $6, kids 6 to 12, 3, 6 and under free. It's all you can eat. Sausage, bacon, liver mush, gravy and biscuits, and all the trimmings and proceeds go to help rebuild the old Gilkey School. Then at the Gilkey School Community Center, we're going to have a concealed handgun safety course. The cost is $50. This will be February the 17th. It starts at 8 a.m. For information, call 429-7476 or 429-9075. Then we got an auction at the White House Community Center on Painters Gap Road in Union Mills. This is Saturday, February the 17th. Doors open at 4 p.m. Auction starts at 6. Kitchen opens at 4 p.m. and they'll have barbecue plate, baked beans, slaw, and that's $5. For information, call 828-625-4502 or 828-545-7161. And other than that, I don't have any more of anything going on that I know of. It was a little bit scary yesterday morning with all the ice, but of course I didn't get out and go anywhere. Wasn't about to, so.
Well, you were wise to stay in. A lot of folks stayed in yesterday morning, and some folks ventured out, but the roads were not that bad. Some of the bridges were sleek, and some of the more darker spots. It really looked good on the trees, that ice did.
That's what I was going to, yeah, the trees were so pretty, yeah. But I was scared it was going to start breaking, but it got warm enough it melted, so that was good. And I wish Todd a speedy recovery.
Well, so do we. Yeah, he's been down a while now.
Well, I hope he ain't going to have it like I've had it.
Well, I hope not either.
Yeah.
Hope not. They're passing it around over their house, I think.
Yeah. But other than that, that's all I know of, Jim.
Well, keep improving, Brendan. I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Bye-bye.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
7:39 on this Monday morning. We're going over to Ellenboro now. Talk with a man who's so excited about last night's football game he slept with a football under his pillow. Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning. We did have an exciting time last night. Had a big Super Bowl party.
Did you?
Yeah. I went to bed.
Well, that's the safest way.
That's the safest way to be.
You didn't even have any chips and dip?
No. I didn't have any chips and dips, no beer or anything else.
Well,
they said not to eat all that junk food.
Well, that's
bad for your heart.
That's what I've heard. Well,
Cause your heart attacks. Eat a big meal like that. Exciting thanks. I just laid off. Good football games ever got you championships.
Yep. I had a hot bowl of oyster stew last night for my Super Bowl party. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
They're pretty good. Well, there's a peanut butter crackers tonight. It's over. But today's Monday. We get to go back to work. Football game's over. We get started on. Well, let's see. They already fixed to start baseball now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They already practiced for that. I think first team next month. But we had a fire department had a busy weekend there. They had 7 medical calls and had one car alarm going off, and they had one tree down. Very quiet this morning, sitting back enjoying an extra cup of coffee this morning. And nothing else going on down here. But one week's happy birthday day. And Pam McFarland, she's having a birthday day, and Jeremiah Johnson's having one. So we hope these people have a great day and enjoy their day. Tim, you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. I will. You have a good day, too. See you.
Bye-bye. All right, take care.
That's Luther Gilligan reporting out of Ellenboro this morning, and it's 7:41, and we have time to have a birthday party. So if you're celebrating today on the 5th, please call Lou now at 287-3356, birthdays and anniversaries, and we'll celebrate and give away some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. All that is straight ahead. Meanwhile, across the road over here, Farmer's Friend Feeding and Supplies, they have a large quantity of square and round bales of hay and straw, and you could ask George about volume discounts. He offers those. They also offer delivery. Ask for details about that. Propane grill tanks, 20 pound, only $10.99. Cow Lake tubs, 24% protein, only $49.99. Generic dog food, specially priced, and 20% off all dog beds. A lot of things going on for you. If you'll stop in, visit with them at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supplies, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton. You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. Every day should start with a good, I'm talking about good, cup of coffee. Now, you can do some of this bad coffee if you want to, but when drop-in food store so close by, they serve as fresh and hot S&D coffee. They got a special price, 12-ounce cup for only 99 cents. Get your bologna biscuit for only 99 cents. And if you're a Coke drinker, get a 15-pack of Coke, 12-ounce cans, only $3.99. 18-pack of Pepsi, $4.99. 2-liter Pepsi, 3 for $3. And don't forget the For Real milkshakes. They're good anytime. 16-ounce, $2.99. And when you get hungry, visit Major Lee's Delis for hot wings. They sell about 23,000 of those a month, so you know they must be good. Pizzas, $9.99. Choose one or all 10 toppings at no additional charge. Enjoy delicious hot dogs, hamburgers, They got egg rolls, potato wedges, honey mustard or ranch chicken wraps, chicken strips, regular or spicy. So you can find any kind of meal you want when you choose to drop in at the drop-in store. All fresh, never frozen. Drop in your home convenience store since 1981. Come on, drop in. I want to brag on Hutchins Pest Control. Honest, dependable, and on-time service. Tim Hutchins is the owner, and along with his family, Chad, Charlie, and Emily, they have been voted best in pest control 6 years in a row. If you have a problem with pests, or if you want to take care of it before it becomes a problem, call on Hutchins Pest Control. 34 years experience, and with their family name behind what they do, you can be sure it'll be done right. Get a free estimate when you call. Hutchins Pest Control, 287-5171. That's 287-5171. Hutchins Pest Control, honest, dependable, and on time. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to Michelle Moore of the Chase community. She's 46. She's one we're being kind to. And Bobby Wall over in Forest City had a birthday yesterday. And Riley Johnson is 13. She lives over in Rutherfordton area. And Malachi Hip having a birthday. And Gary and Janelle Kemp celebrating an anniversary. Not a lot of people born on this date, but enough to have a drawing. And we'll do that here in just a moment to give away some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Stand by.
In his autobiography, Lord Inman, governor of Charing Cross Hospital in London, tells about his mother. His father had died when he was young, and his mother was left with few resources to bring up 4 boys. She was a woman of great courage and faith. She took in washing. She added the job of custodian at the local school. Then when someone was needed to scrub tombstones in the cemetery for 2 shillings each, she did that too. This last chore she did at night with one of the boys holding the lantern. Every night after the work was over, the mother got down the family Bible and read aloud a chapter to her boys. Lord Inman says, "We used to ask her, 'Mother, what benefits do you have in the Lord?' She replied, 'Many. I have my health and strength. We have a roof over our heads, and I have you, my boys.'" Too often we get into trouble when we don't stop to consider what blessings we have. The prodigal son wasn't thankful for how good he had it at home, so he struck out on his own. It wasn't long before his life began to take a nosedive, and his money was all gone. Later we find him begging his father for an opportunity to come back, if only as a hired servant. Experiencing things from the other side of life made him take notice of how good he had it. During this week, try your best to consider all the blessings that you do have, and then give thanks to the God who loves you. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
And a big congratulations going out to Riley Johnson. She's 13, lives in Rutherfordton, and she just won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Monday morning, so we get a chance to find out where some job opportunities are with Terry Thomas. And following that, Dale Ramsey, friends of the NRA, is going to be with me in the Blue Room this morning. Got a lot to pack in this next hour, 8:30. You've heard the national accusers. Now you're hearing from those being accused. The one is reporting their side of the story. Now you can hear the other side. Each morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 8:30. You can hear members of the Word of Faith Fellowship tell their side of the story. That's this morning, 8:30. Full hour coming up next. Don't miss a minute of it.
NCN News. Hi, I'm Mike Rayleigh. Amtrak is blaming a CSX freight train operator for the deadly crash in South Carolina that claimed the lives of an Amtrak Silver Star conductor and its engineer. More than 100 others were injured. Investigators say a track switch was set incorrectly, diverting the passenger train onto a side track, putting it on a collision course with a parked freight train. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has more from West Columbia, South Carolina.
Killed in the crash was conductor Michael Sella and engineer Michael Kempf. Kempf's brother Richard said his brother's death could have been prevented.
Or somebody forgot to throw a switch. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And it happened. He forgot to throw that switch.
Over 200 personnel were injured in putting out a fire at a lumber mill in Stokes County over the weekend. Crews from more than 20 fire departments responded to the blaze. The House Intelligence Committee is expected to vote later today on releasing a Democratic memo that counters a Republican memo claiming bias in the Russian investigation. CBS News' Hannah Doba explains the process.
If the House Intelligence Committee does vote today to release the Democratic response, it would still be up to President Trump to decide how and if it should be made public.
The state superintendent of public instruction is extending a welcome to the rank and file, even as he was given the cold shoulder by the leader's teachers group. Mark Johnson recently posted a video saying he is listening to concerns and wants more feedback on preparing students for life after the K-12 education.
I don't believe that every student has to go to college to be a success, but I do believe that some sort of post-secondary training, whether certification, community college, military service, or even going to a four-year college, is becoming more and more important.
Interim Rockingham County District Attorney Tom Keith has announced his resignation. The Greensboro News and Record reports his resignation follows a dispute with the North Carolina Administrative Office of the Courts, which would not reimburse him for travel. You're listening to NCN News.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state, House, and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Thousands of people took to the streets of Philadelphia to celebrate the Super Bowl victory and did some damage. KYW's Tim Jimenez has the story.
Several businesses, including the Macy's here in Center City, Philadelphia, have smashed windows. Traffic lights were taken down in front of City Hall, and orange cones are now where the poles were standing. Bus shelter panes were smashed through. Some huge flower pots and street signs were also knocked over. The awning of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel came crashing down last night when fans hopped on top. The frame is just a pile of twisted metal. So crews with the city and some of the businesses here have a lot of work to do. Tim Jimenez for CBS News, Philadelphia.
A woman has been found dead in her home in Fayetteville. Officers say a family member had found a 21-year-old woman's body in the home. No names have been released. It will be a learning experience. That's the goal of a trip that includes some 40 agriculture and agribusiness leaders and State Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler to Brazil, a key competitor to North Carolina on the world stage.
Brazil, like the United States, is a major producer of agricultural crops, so we pretty much go head-to-head with Brazil on soybeans and tobacco in particular.
You heard a lot about a device called the bump stock after the Las Vegas shooting massacre. With Congress stalled on a ban, states and cities are leading the way. We get more from Vicki Barker.
So many died because the shooter used bump stocks to get his semi-automatic rifles to perform like machine guns. Early bipartisan congressional support for a ban, tentative support from the NRA, led nowhere. Now, Republican governors in Massachusetts and New Jersey have signed laws banning bump stocks. Denver and Columbia, South Carolina have done the same, and more than a dozen states are also considering bans. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Let the WCAB marketing team go to work for your business. It works. Call Tracy or Jim at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Scott Goldberg. Parts of Philadelphia a little roughed up this morning after the Eagles won their first ever Super Bowl. ABC's Aaron Katursky is there.
As Eagles fans came to work on a Monday morning, they were still cleaning up some of the broken glass from the Macy's storefront here in Center City. There were overturned cars being hauled away, too. Pockets of the celebration that lasted into the wee hours did get out of hand, but thousands more celebrated peacefully the first Eagles Super Bowl victory. Later today, City Hall said it would have plans for a Super Bowl victory parade.
The Eagles are due back into the city later this afternoon. Investigators have zeroed in on a switch set in a position that they believe led to a deadly Amtrak crash this weekend. ABC's David Curley is in Casey, South Carolina.
NTSB remains on the scene. They will be here for some time, going through the wreckage and getting as much data as they can. But what they really want to know is about the signals and the switch. Why was the switch set to the siding, which took the Amtrak train into the CSX freight train, and why wasn't the Amtrak train warned that that was a possibility?
2 people on the Amtrak train were killed when it slammed into a parked freight train. The latest sentencing hearing for disgraced Dr. Larry Nassar continues today in Michigan. He spent the last couple of days listening to statements from more victims. Jury selection begins today in the trial of a Virginia Tech student accused of kidnapping and killing a teenage girl he met through a messaging app. Investors are hoping this new week brings a rebound after a very bad Friday for stocks.
Wall Street opens today after its worst week in 2 years. The Dow down 666 points. The NASDAQ and the S&P also down significantly. One reason, worry stocks were rising too fast.
Markets do go down. We have to get used to that. We've seen more volatility in the first month of this year than we did in the whole second half of last year.
Right now, Dow futures are down 250 points. You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select CVS and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com.
Okay, so where do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day? Go on, tell them, Robin.
Good morning, America.
George.
Good morning, America.
Lara.
Good morning, America.
So, take it from Robin.
Put some good in your morning.
With ABC's Good Morning America.
We still have several weeks to go before we get out of the flu season, and the CDC says signs are pointing to this being the worst one in decades. ABC's Jim Ryan says health departments around the country are trying different ways to get people the flu shot.
Cars were lined up for hours as the Oklahoma City County Health Department gave out free vaccinations in a drive-up clinic.
Flu is still pretty severe. A lot of people are being hospitalized.
The department's Gary Cox says that despite concerns about the vaccine's limited effectiveness this year,
it is the best line of defense to protect yourself.
Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Icy roads set off a deadly pileup in Missouri. 30 cars plowed into each other on part of Interstate 44. This driver, John Taylor, says he saw people speeding by him.
We'll just take it slow and hopefully it gets a little bit better as we get to St. Louis.
One person was killed. 2 people had to be airlifted to local hospitals. About a dozen more are hurt. The International Olympics Committee has rejected a request to let 15 Russians compete in the Winter Olympics. The Russian team officially was banned from the Games because of the team's history of doping, but some athletes are being allowed to compete under a neutral flag. The group includes 13 athletes and 2 coaches. Near St. Louis, it was an extra long weekend for students at Brentwood High School. They both were dismissed early on Friday after a 9-foot-long boa constrictor slipped out of its cage in a biology class. Chaos ensued. They had to rip up a ceramic floor to find the snake, which had wrapped itself around some pipes. This is ABC News.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where MyPillow comes in, and we're excited to announce the new 4-pack special. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special tab, and save 50% off the 4-pack, which includes 2 MyPillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Use promo code SKY at checkout or call 1-800-635-1825. That's 1-800-635-1825. Or go to MyPillow.com, click the 4-pack special tab, and use promo code SKY at checkout.
You're really missing out if you haven't tried the delicious food at Jesse James Railroad Express. Check out the burgers, clubs, hot dogs, fresh salads, taco salads, chicken and tuna salad plates, and of course, delicious Davis donuts and hand-dipped ice cream. They offer a terrific breakfast with made-to-order fresh just for you. They're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Call out orders at 447-4644. Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. Railroad Express has received an award for the best coffee shop and the best hamburgers and hot dogs. And mention this ad and get a regular hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, only 99 cents, Mondays only.
Today's Monday, so go get it.
We could see a few areas of fog or low cloudiness early on today. Otherwise, it looks like we'll be turning mostly sunny to start the week. And we'll have cool temperatures and decreasing humidity. Highs will reach about 43 to 49. Tonight, look for mainly clear skies. It'll be fairly cold with light winds or lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Tuesday will bring lots of sunshine, some fair weather clouds at times, and we'll run warmer tomorrow. Highs about 50 to 56. We'll have a chance of rain return on Wednesday. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
We have a beautiful day in the neighborhood. 38 degrees right now. Mostly clear today with highs reaching up to about 46. And then tonight, mostly clear. Now, we're getting some rain back in the forecast Tuesday night, possibly Wednesday, with a high about 90% chance of that rain. Then clearing out here again for Thursday. Friday, mostly sunny. Then Saturday and Sunday, we may get some more rain showers. Right now, though, it's beautiful. It's another great getting up morning here at the foothills, and it's 38 degrees. Monday mornings, we always love to talk with Terry Thomas to find out where some job opportunities are. And Terry's on the phone with me right now to give us that update. Terry, good morning. How you doing?
Fine, and yourself?
Doing great. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
Did your team win last night?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. What's on the list today, Terry?
Okay. We're going to start in the Columbus area. We do have some construction jobs. We have a bulldozer operator position. This job requires 6 months' experience, and the pay depends upon experience. We also have a bridge carpenter position. You must have at least 1 year carpentry experience, and the pay depends upon experience. We also have a crane operator position for the Columbus area. You must have 2 years of crane operator experience, and you must have the NCCO/the NCCER certification, and the pay depends upon experience. We also have an excavator position. This job requires 6 months' experience, and the pay depends upon experience. And then we have the bridge laborer position. It does not require any experience, and the pay depends upon experience. In the manufacturing area for the Columbus area, we have a machine operator position. This job requires a high school diploma and or GED and at least 2 years of manufacturing experience, and the pay depends upon experience. In the Forest City area, we have occupational therapist positions. This job requires at least an associate's degree and 1 year experience, and you must be licensed in the state of North Carolina. And the pay on this job depends upon experience. We also have a speech-language pathologist position for the Forest City area. This job also requires an associate's degree, and you must be licensed in the state of North Carolina. And the pay depends upon experience. In the Rutherford area, we have a gutter installer position. This job does require that you must have a driver's license, and the employer is willing to train. And the pay on this job ranges from $9 to $15 an hour, depending upon experience. We still have various RN registered nursing positions and certified nursing assistance positions throughout the county. And if you're willing to travel to Marion, Baxter Healthcare will be holding a job fair next Monday, February the 12th, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. over at Isothermal Community College in the Business Science Department, and that's room 120. So if you're willing to travel to Marion, that would be a good opportunity. They are hiring for filling and pouch operator positions. It does require a high school diploma and or GED and at least 1 year of manufacturing experience. And this job pays $13.34 an hour. And these are just the few of the jobs that we have available at the Rutherford County NC Works Career Center. We are located at 223 Charlotte Road, Rutherfordton. For more information on these or other positions, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry, thank you so very much for that report, and we look forward to talking to you again next Monday. In the meantime, you have a great week.
You too.
Thanks. Terry Thomas reporting in this morning. It's now 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. Congratulations to Riley Johnson. She won the Daylight Donuts this morning. She's 13, and he lives in Rutherford. So happy birthday to Riley Johnson. And we're being kind of Michelle Moore of the Chase community. She's 46. With me in the studio right now in the Blue Room is Dale Ramsey. He is the chairman of Friends of the NRA, and he's here to talk a little bit about it. Good morning, Dale. How you doing?
Hey, Jim. How are you? Thanks for having me.
You're right. Did your team win last night?
I don't watch football.
I understand. Well, talk about the NRA event that's coming. It's always a big event every year.
Yeah, it's grown, and we're moving out to Trinity School this year. We've been up at the Boy Scout camp, and we outgrew it, so we got a chance to move out to Trinity. And the Friends of NRA, every penny of that goes to support the shooting sports. Larry Potterfield from Midway USA started it 26 years ago, and he wanted to do something to raise money for the shooting sports, Women on Target, Boy Scouts, Junior ROTC, hunter safety teams, and to build ranges. And every year we get to bring some money back to the county too through the Central's got some for their Junior ROTC in years past. East and Chase has both got it for their hunter safety teams, got some for the Boy Scout camp, and Chris Burley's Safe Kids has got a grant the past couple of years. And in the years past, in the 26 years it's been in inception, there's been $800 million raised total. And in western North Carolina last year, there was $400,000 raised last year, but whenever we went to pass out the grants, there was requests for $1 million. So we just need more and more and more every year.
Yeah. Now, what happens at the event itself? Is there a dinner or what takes place?
Yeah, we'll have a dinner, and before the dinner and after the dinner, there will be a live auction, silent auction, and raffles. There'll be all kinds of different games, and the girls will be selling raffle tickets. And, and little old Rutherford County, we've been doing really good the past several years. They call high caliber 25,000, and this is the 5th year in a row that we've made high caliber. And there's 1,150 banquets in the country, and not half of them does it, and Rutherford County is one of them.
Well, it speaks well that you've grown so much that you have to find a larger venue.
Yes, and we lost a couple of good committee members last year. They passed away, Mike Gilbert and Jack Connor, and they always both sold a lot of tickets. So, just want to let some people know how they could get in touch with some of us.
The tickets are priced $30 each, $50 a couple, and that's going to be Thursday, March the 1st, Trinity Christian School on Dieter Street in Rutherfordton, 5:30, and it's sponsored by the Thermal Belt Friends of NRA. Dale, how can they get tickets?
Well, they can call myself at 429-0392. They can call Dale Tony at 429-1679, or Marcus White at 429-6009. And if anybody wants to do some sponsorships, we've got different levels of sponsorships, and tables where for $1,000 you can get a table, 8 banquet tickets, 8 Kershaw knives, and choice of a gun.
Wow. So apparently great night for a lot of fun things to do. Plus, it's very well supported.
Yeah, it's very well supported. It's just gone crazy how much it's started being supported. People's been calling us wanting to buy tables and buy tickets.
Good. If you will leave those numbers here with me, because sometimes people call back and that's more numbers than I can remember. This little mind of mine, so I'll let you write it down if anybody calls me to how to get in touch with you. But the opportunity to have a good meal and fellowship with a lot of NRA supporters and win some things would be worth doing, wouldn't it?
It's a lot of fun. We'll have probably about 40 guns that we'll give away that night.
40 guns. Wow. And ticket holders can obviously win that, or is there a separate drawing for that?
It's a separate drawing. We'll have a gun for a door prize. Everybody that buys a ticket will get a gun for a door prize, or a chance for the door prize. But then, there'll be all those different games, chances to win guns.
Yeah, great. Dale, I appreciate what you're doing and keeping us aware of those kind of things, and the safety of the schools and the training the NRA does is well worth doing in this county.
Yes, it is. There's way more goes on, teaching some safety and stuff than what people actually realize, and that's what it's about. And it's about, teaching these kids safety. So if they do see a gun out, they just don't pick it up and do something they shouldn't be doing with it. They just call somebody and leave it alone.
Again, let me remind you that's Thursday, March 1st at Trinity School. 5:30 is starting time. Price is $30 each, $50 a couple. It's sponsored by the Friends of the NRA. And Dale, quickly, one more time, and I'm going to have you to write it down before you leave. Give those 4 phone numbers, please.
It's my phone number, Dale Ramsey, 429-0392. Marcus White, 429-6009. And Dale Tony, 429-1679.
Good deal. Thanks, Dale, for being with us. We appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Keep up the good work. And I'll be back in just a few minutes.
If you have a child or grandchild pre-K age, you're invited to bring them to the kickoff of the 2018 kindergarten registration. Join us for Kinderpalooza at the Carolina Event and Conference Center on Hudlow Road in Forest City. The fun event will take place on Thursday, February the 8th from 4 until 7. If you're not sure where your child will be enrolled or not registered your child this year, no problem. Join Rutherford County Schools for tons of fun, face painting, tech activities, the Magic School Bus rides, and more. Remember, registration for kindergarten has already begun for children born on or before August 31st, 2013. Visit www.rcsnc.org/kindergarten for more information.
Oh boy, just in time for Valentine's Day. Sweet Rock is open with those delicious chocolate-covered strawberries. What a sweet gift for your Valentine. 1 dozen chocolate-covered strawberries for $14.99. Place your order now to guarantee your special gift will be ready and order before they sell out. All orders will receive a 20% discount card to be used for future visits. Sweet Frog is now open 12 until 9. Come check the new flavors and new treats. Remember, order your chocolate-covered strawberries today. Located beside Folk Cleaners in the Rockwood Plaza, or call 245-7475 or text 980-1765.
Another question for the Tax Fact Street Team.
Hey, IRS, I've got a friend who deducts everything. Is she wrong?
I'll tell you about legitimate tax breaks after this.
New tax laws cause many taxpayers to lose hundreds or even thousands of dollars in refunds because they or their preparer did not know the changes, and the IRS likes it that way. But there is help available. At Central Tax Service, they will get you the biggest and fastest refund allowed by the IRS, guaranteed. Do yourself and not the government a favor. Go see Roger Jolly at Central Tax Service at 542 Oak Street in Forest City, or call them at 245-0557. With a bigger and faster refund, you will be glad you did.
Credits like the Earned Income Tax Credit reduce the taxes you owe dollar for dollar. Deductions like student loan interest reduce how much of your income can be taxed.
There's more about approved credits and deductions at irs.gov.
Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Ken Paulman, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherford. And again, that's 287-3338.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
This is Pam with the Home Medical Department at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. We carry several products for CPAP therapy that includes wipes, distilled gallons of water, a CPAP hose cleaning tool, a CPAP pillow, and of course the regular supplies of masks, filters, and other maintenance products. Come in or call us for any of your CPAP needs. Thank you and have a happy new year from all of us at Smith's Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street, 245-4591.
It's another long winter.
600 years.
No, it'll be gone soon.
I'm waiting!
In the meantime, keep warm with us. Today's hits and yesterday's memories. Family-friendly AM 590, WCAB.
Deputy Henderson with the Sheriff's Department was on the air with us earlier this morning. We recorded that report for broadcast at this time. Now here is Deputy Henderson.
In the last 48 hours, the Sheriff's Office has responded to 177 calls, processed 13 arrests, and currently have 170 incarcerated. For our incident reports, we have Jonathan Pollock of Andy Drive, Forest City, reported injury to personal property. Rena Nito from New Hope Road and out of Georgia reported a breaking and entering felony with larceny breaking after the fact of breaking and entering. Virginia Epley, McIntyre Road, reported injury to real property. Charles Irvin, Memorial Road, Forest City, reported breaking and entering felony with larceny after breaking and entering. Patty Davis from 74 Benzes, Ellenborough, reported breaking and entering of a motor vehicle with misdemeanor larceny after the fact. Robert Rushing from Allen Drive reported a discharge of a weapon into an occupied vehicle. And Teresa Long, out of Hams Ridge Road, Mooresboro, reported larceny of a motor vehicle. For our arrest report, Robert Black from Crodary Road was arrested and charged with possession of Schedule II controlled substance. Terry Parsons from Andy Drive, Forest City, was arrested and charged with injury to personal property and injury to real property. Danielle Fincannon from Hines Road, Mooresboro, was arrested for assault on female communicating threats. Dorothy Gargis from Rebel Lane, Mill Springs, was arrested on failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Daniel Lancaster out of Seaboard Road was charged for failure to return rented property. And Curtis Bailey from Brookway Drive was arrested and charged with assault by strangulation and assault on a female. And that's all we have this morning.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. Are you on disability? Or maybe you're on Medicare? Or maybe both? Come see me, Dwayne Hunt at Insurance Service Associates, about a Medicare Advantage product brought to you by Humana. Please give me a call, 245-5301 at Insurance Service Associates, 127 East Trade Street, Forest City.
Sports update coming up here in just a couple of minutes away from right now. Then Word of Faith speaks out 8:30 right here live in the Blue Room at WCAB.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The city of brotherly love is celebrating its first Super Bowl victory and its first NFL championship since 1960. The Eagles rallied to beat the New England Patriots 41-33 in Super Bowl 52. 2 years ago, Philly quarterback Nick Foles was considering giving up the game of football, but watching the way he played last night, you'd be hard-pressed to even believe that statement's true.
A couple years ago, there was a time where I was thinking about hanging up the cleats, and, I think as people, we deal with struggles, and that was, a moment in my life where, I thought about it, and, I prayed about it, and, I'm grateful that I made the decision to come back here and play.
He was 28 of 43 for 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. He's also the first quarterback to throw and receive a touchdown in a Super Bowl. It's a big reason why he was named the game's MVP.
The big thing that helped me was knowing that I didn't have to be Superman. I have amazing teammates, amazing coaches around me, and all I had to do was just go play as hard as I could and play for one another, play for those guys.
The Patriots, they led 33-32 late in the game. It was their first lead until Foles threw an 11-yard touchdown to Zach Ertz with 2:21 left. On the Patriots' ensuing possession, Tom Brady fumbled, and that set up Jake Elliott's 46-yard field goal that put the Eagles ahead by 8 with 1:12 left. Brady talking about being on the losing end.
I mean, losing sucks. You show up and you try to win, and sometimes you lose, and that's the way it goes.
The two teams set an NFL playoff record in total yards with 1,153. Earlier on Super Bowl Sunday, the Hurricanes hosting the San Jose Sharks in an NHL Sunday matinee. Brent Burns had a goal and an assist for San Jose as they beat Carolina 3-1 in Raleigh. Canes head coach Bill Peters typically comments on the positives in a losing effort, but there was not much of that yesterday.
Well, I didn't think we were very good. Some guys were fast asleep at the start of the game, so really disappointing effort.
Carolina continues the 8-game homestand tomorrow against the Philadelphia Flyers. This is NCN Sports.
Packers,
Vikings,
Red State,
Blue State.
We come from different places.
Uptown,
Downtown.
We come to different conclusions.
half empty,
Half full.
But no matter how different we are, we're all connected, and we can all make a difference. That's why United Way brings people, expertise, and resources together to improve the education, income, and health of our communities, the building blocks for a better life. When we live united, our efforts, magnified by others, add up to real change. Children succeed in school, families gain financial stability, the health of our neighbors improves, and suddenly, so do our communities. But real change won't happen without you.
Live united.
So let's look beyond our differences.
Live united.
One by one, let's make a difference. Let's reach out a hand to one and influence the condition of all.
Live united.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Sign up today at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Some basketball from Super Bowl Sunday. In the college ranks, top-ranked Villanova won their 9th straight and improved to 22-1 overall by whipping Seton Hall 92-76. The Pirates led by 3 early in the second half until Eric Pascal and Jalen Brunson drained 3-pointers, igniting a run that allowed the Wildcats to go up by 21 with 2:22 remaining. On the pro court, Al Horford nailed a 15-footer at the buzzer to give the Boston Celtics a 97-96 win over the Portland Trailblazers. Horford finished with 22 points and leading Boston to its 4th consecutive win. The Toronto Raptors keeping pace, just 2 games behind first-place Boston in the Atlantic Division. They put together a balanced attack and a 101-86 win against the Memphis Grizzlies. Toronto improved to a league-best 21-4 at home despite shooting 6 for 35 from three-point range. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We could see a few areas of fog or low cloudiness early on today. Otherwise, it looks like we'll be turning mostly sunny to start the week. And we'll have cool temperatures and decreasing humidity. Highs will reach about 43 to 49. Tonight, look for mainly clear skies. It'll be fairly cold with light winds or lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Tuesday will bring lots of sunshine, some fair weather clouds at times, and we'll run warmer tomorrow. Highs about 50 to 56. We'll have a chance of rain return on Wednesday. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
We're starting out at 38 degrees this morning, warming up to about 46 and mostly sunny today. Mostly clear tonight with lows back down in the freezer locker. 26 tonight. Tomorrow partly cloudy with highs around 55. And the weekend looks like we're getting more rain coming in on Wednesday. Showers likely, 90% chance of that. And then on Friday night, partly cloudy with scattered showers. And Saturday and Sunday, possibility of some showers. Again, right now it's 38 degrees here at WCAB in beautiful downtown Whiteside Road. Welcome to The Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to Word of Faith Responds, and we're so glad you're tuning in. You heard a great program on Friday if you were listening, and that was with Derek Head, and he told the miraculous story of his life, but he didn't finish, and there's so much more to hear, and he is back with us today. A little bit about Derek. As I said on Friday, our church has a very active prison ministry. There's a couple gentlemen that head that prison ministry up. That's Douglas and DeWitt, and they were on our program several weeks ago, and you can actually hear from them if you will go to our website at wordoffaithfellowship.org. We now have all of the radio programs on our website. It's very easy to find. You'll see a link that says radio programs. And you can also tune in to listen to Derek Head's first part of his testimony on Friday if you missed it, because we're going to pick back up with Derek today because there's so many powerful things in his life that God has done, and we want to share with you all the things that Jesus has done in his life. One of the things that we shared about was that Derek actually met us in our church through the prison ministry at Rutherford Correctional Center, where he was an inmate for approximately 15 years. And prior to that, Derek served a prison sentence of 10 years in New Jersey. Is that right, Derek?
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. And so Derek actually grew up going between New Jersey, Washington, D.C., and Rutherford County, North Carolina. He has a large family, and all his family was throughout those areas. And Derek shared on Friday about his life growing up. He actually grew up in the Nation of Islam, a very devoted Muslim, ended up actually selling Muslim newspapers, participated in all of the religious ceremonies, and spoke Arabic, read the Quran, very devoted. And also he had a life of violence, and in that lifestyle of violence, he ended up in a very serious shootout. And he didn't realize it, but some of the shooting involved undercover federal agents. He didn't know they were federal agents at the time, but that led to his first prison sentence, where he actually was facing attempted murder. And the sentence started off looking at 99 years, but was reduced to 20 years, and through a course of events, because he was a first offender and had a clean record, ended up doing 10 years of. And so we're going to pick back up at this time period. Derek, would you take over and share all the things that God's done in your life?
Yes. So I still had the temper and the anger and the attitude, and I didn't understand why I was sitting in their office, and they trying to explain to me they didn't have a file on me yet, and could I come back the next Monday? And I'm like, what for what? I'm not on paper. It's a mandatory release, expiration date, and a lot of, so eventually they said, well, you could just call and see if your file arrived here yet. So the next Monday I called, and the file didn't get there yet, and they said, well, can you call next Monday? So the very next Monday I called, and they was like, well, the file is here. Could you come in? And I'm like, come in for what? Like that you have everything there, my history. So I came and spoke with them, and it really wasn't much they can do about it because it was a mandatory release. I wasn't on parole or probation or anything. However, this allowed the state of North Carolina to know that a violent criminal convicted and was living in their city. So anytime something would occur, such as like a murder or assault with a deadly weapon, with intent to commit murder, anything like that, I'm one of the first suspects that they want to come and question. So, you know, you had officers like they might show up on my property, and it's private property, and I'm shooing them away. I'm not answering none of your questions. Either I'm under arrest or not, that type. So, needless to say, several things occurred, and I was accused of a few things. I wasn't convicted of any of them. They either had to throw it out or dismiss it, or witnesses wouldn't show up, and So all of these was taking place within the next 2 years, from 2000 to 2002, while I was residing here in North Carolina between Rutherford and Asheville. So eventually that led to my charge in Asheville with shooting in an occupied property, vehicle, and armed robbery and second-degree kidnapping and all that. They gave it to kidnapping because anytime you detain people, you know, it's like a kidnapping also. So this was 2002, and the first trial was a hung juror because they was using testimony for people who was already incarcerated or facing charges to plead for a lesser charge. They was like, you remember that shooting that happened here? I could tell you who did it, and that's how I wound up getting involved. They told on me in exchange for a lighter sentence or whatever it was that they received. So the first trial was a hung juror, and the state decided to waste a lot of money and retry me again, you know, and so they did. And the second trial, I was convicted. So I was sentenced. The minimum was 15 years. So I started my time at Central Prison, and I went through a lot of other prisons, but it was my knowledge of Islam stemming from the Nation of Islam and my knowledge of the Quran and my Arabic, and which allowed me to have a lot of other Muslims gravitated towards me and requested that I be the imam, or either I speak, give the khutbah, which is it's a religious talk on the day on Friday, which is Salat al-Jumu'ah Friday, mean, you know, the day of assembly for Muslims all over the world, that type of stuff. So the thing that attracted them most is because of my anger and my aggression. Even in all my religious talks and khutbahs, I was the one that I was so brainwashed into, you know, everybody else is wrong, I'm right, fight the system, fight tyranny, fight injustice, no matter where it's at. You know, these corrupt officers, and I'm going against the correctional officers, I'm going against the quote system, unquote system, and all the penitentiaries. You know, I had decided a long time ago that I'm making my own rules up. I'm not abiding by anyone's rules, because when I came through the nation as a young man, all the way up to 75 before Elijah Muhammad passed away, I was guided and trained and directed under what we call the restricted laws of Islam. And it was like, you did this, or you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, and it was repercussions. You know, they didn't associate with hypocrites or those in bad standings in the mosque, and anytime you violated one of the restricted laws of Islam, they disassociated themselves with you, and you know, you didn't want to be disassociated from your brothers, so it would kind of keep you in line. So you obeyed the laws most of the time out of fear of the consequences, being suspended and things of that nature. So when Elijah Muhammad passed away and his son Muhammad Muhammad started changing the structure of the Nation of Islam more towards Orthodox Islam, we no longer had the restricted laws of Islam anymore to govern us. So a lot of us, we just went back to the world and started rebelling. So it kind of put me in mind of how the law of Moses, like back in the Old Testament, you had Moses, and to teach and train the uncivilized people, you know, he gave them the laws, the commandments. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery. And if you do, thou will get this, thou will get that. So he had the people following the laws out of the fear of the consequences if you were to get caught. So if I'm planning on committing adultery, and now this person is guilty of committing adultery, and so I'm picking up stones to stone him to death at the same time while I'm throwing the stones at him to kill him, I'm also killing the desire within myself to commit that same act, you know. So that's how he had the law working. But once you remove that law, then, you know, it's just chaos and confusion. So when Christ came, he came to teach you love of the law, you know, and to put it in your heart and embed it in your heart. So no matter what happens, where you go, who's watching, you know what I mean? You did it out of the love for it. And that was the difference. So I wasn't at that point yet. So I'm going through several prisons, and a lot of the officers, especially the high-ranking officials, because the embodiment and personality of me was in the Nation of Islam, and they stopped allowing the Nation of Islam to come into the prison systems of North Carolina. They go in any penitentiary all over the world, any federal penitentiary and things of that nature, but because of some riots that occurred back in '96 in South Carolina and the Nation of Islam, they was accused of the convicts being in the nation and causing it and things of that nature, you know. So they stopped them from coming into the prison system in North Carolina. So they recognized it as a religion, but they tried to keep me under restraint, saying that I couldn't propagate it. They had to give me my books and my literatures and a study guide from Minister Louis Farrakhan and all that, because I was a registered member in the Nation of Islam. But they told me I couldn't speak it over the podiums and things of that nature. But needless to say, I still continued to deliver my message of fight oppression and tyranny and injustice, and it caused a lot of problems during my incarceration, as far as me fighting the administration, anything that I deemed that wasn't right. You know, the whole community stand up with me, and you know, several places they had me do what they call instigating riots, because people that was following behind me, rising up against them and all, and so they shipped me to different penitentiaries and things of this nature. So
at some point, did you end up at the Spindale,
right,
the Rutherford Correctional Center?
Right. Eventually, I was at Hornet, and this when my mother first had got sick, and for a long time they had me red flagged from Craigie's, where I couldn't go, and that was the closest brown clothes to my mother, who was here in Forest City, and that's in Buncombe County. But they wouldn't allow me to go there. So like December of 2012, my mother was sick, and so they have what they call hardship, where they had to, because she couldn't travel and things of that nature, they had to send me to the closest brown clothes they could.
And you're talking about brown clothes for the listeners. What does that mean?
Brown clothes is when you in like medium and medium and above. They call it brown clothes.
Medium or above security.
Yeah, and green clothes is what they call honor grade, when you know become like Spindale and things.
And that would be like a minimum security facilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Craigie's was the closest, so they shipped me to Craigie on medical hardship, and I was there, and I participated in what they had. What they had was a laundry program, and it entailed, once you complete this laundry program for 6 months, that you was allowed to go to any, they give you your honor grade, and you can go to any honor grade camp, which is the green clothes I was speaking of. So the closest one to my mother was Spindale, and so I picked Spindale. So 2013, I get to Spindale. Prior to this, even at Craigie's, you know, when I give the coop ball or something, the religious talk, you had the STG, which is Security Group Threat Officers, sergeants in them. They would call all the inmates who signed their name to come into my Jumar services, and a lot of them was like Bloods and Crips and stuff like that. And then they would question them and ask them, what did I say? you know, and try to get them to tell them what was I saying doing my coupons and seeing if I'm, you know, instigating or doing anything like that. And they would come back and tell me and say, Brother E, man, yeah, Sergeant Phillips and them asked me what you said and this type, what was you talking about and what your coupon entailed and all that. So I get to Spindale 2013. And when I first get there, you have people that's ships from different camps and stuff. So you had a lot of people that was Muslims, but they didn't have like Jumu'ah service and anything like that at Spindale. So, you know, when they seen me, they was like, bro, you gonna start Jumu'ah that and all this type of things. And I was like, yeah, we gonna have Jumu'ah, you know. So that very first Friday, you know, I go to one of the most respectful man that I've known at Spindale he was a sergeant at the time, Sergeant Garwin, because he was a true, whatever he said, what he meant what he said, and he was fair with everybody, you know, whether you liked him or not. He was fair. He did what, you know, what was right and just. So I went to him and was like, yeah, we supposed to have Jumu'ah, you know, every Friday. It's mandatory in the state of North Carolina that you allow Muslims a place where they can gather together and have their services. So we was having Jumu'ah in one of the buildings, and in the buildings you have the sports side and you have the one TV is for sports and music, and the other television is for movies and television shows like that. So they gave us the sports side where they watched the sports and the music videos and all that type of stuff. So now you talking about a place where people normally, they're not used to having Jumu'ah on Fridays. So they just opening up their day room where they come in and they get to watch TV, and you know, and it like that. And your hours is short and limited as far as what times you can watch TV, that type of stuff. So they all sitting in there watching whatever it was they're watching, the NBA or whatever it was, like that, games and stuff. So I come in with you know, with some of the Muslims and stuff like that, and I come in and get the remote and turn the TV, you know, turn the TV off, and they start like grumbling, like, what are you doing, all this, and some went out, and I guess they told the officer or whatever. He came in there and turned our TV off and all, and then the officer was like, yeah, they have to have Jumu'ah here. And so you can see them when they leaving out, they mumbling, you know, behind their breath on their way out the door.
Now, were you at this time, this was 2013 and on, our church was going there to have church service stuff. Were you engaging or doing anything to the Christians and the people going to the church services, the Christian church services?
I gave Christians the hardest time, and it didn't even matter where they came from. I didn't even know what Word of Faith was or anything else. You know, it's just that's what we do. See, I was taught and raised in the word opposite. You have oppose, and anything that opposes you is an enemy of yours. So you fought that enemy, and to me, Christianity was an enemy to Islam. You know, and I used to call it a slave teachings and the pie in the sky when you die teaching, turn the other cheek, and a pacified teaching, tip through the tulips type stuff.
And for time's sake, sort of time's moving pretty quick here. What happened? Here you are sitting with me today. You have a smile on your face. We're hearing about this violent person that shot up officers undercover and so forth, and led these religious services and opposed authority and so forth. We just have just a few minutes left, basically about 5 minutes. Tell how you're sitting here today. What happened?
All right. What happened? Eventually, I get in trouble. I hurt somebody real bad, and they have to go to the hospital, that type of stuff. So we get put in a hole. Now I'm in the hole, and this is
and for the listeners, some may not know, what does the hole mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a place where they stick bad people that do something wrong, get in, and they put you in a little small cell by yourself, locked up, where you can't go out and can't get out, can't do anything. So you isolated from everybody, population, all that type of stuff. So it was December 2014 when I get this letter from my Aunt Betty, my mother's last sibling that was living, and she said she was putting my mother in, she had to put my mother in the home in Fairhaven. So needless to say, it broke my heart. Like I said, my mother had 8 of us within 10 years, and I'm the baby. So I never in my whole life, you know, I always pride myself on being in control and doing this. So I never felt so helpless in my life. So I'm sitting in a cell, and God knew exactly where to put me at, because he had me in a cell isolated from people. Because had I been around somebody and I would have received that type of news with the love I had for my mother, somebody would have been hurt real bad, and I would have been doing life or something like that, you know. So he had me in the right place where I couldn't hurt nobody but the walls and the doors, and I kicked on them and screamed and used profanity against police officers in the area. I'm just going, you know, going crazy, and all the other convicts that were in different cells. They, Brother E, man, you all right? Brother Minister, you all right? That type of stuff. And I'm just because, you know, I never felt so powerless in my whole life. So I'm crying out to God and don't even realize it. I'm like, Allah, God, Jesus, whatever your name is. You know what I mean? It got to be something better than this. You know, and I know that, you know, it takes 100% dissatisfaction to bring about a change. You can't just be 80, 70% dissatisfied and think a change going to occur in your life. You have to hit your lowest low. And that was my lowest low, because I couldn't do anything about it. And I was so helpless.
And is that after you had that, we were sharing with me before, is that sometime after that, is that when you started attending Christian church services?
No, I haven't been there yet. What it was when I get out, okay, I'm at Scotland now. And now it's July 2000.
This is another prison, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And now in July 2015, my sister Sharon passes away here in Forest City. So they send me here to Forest City. They bring me here to come to her funeral, attend her funeral. So I go to her funeral, and I see my brothers and sisters and everybody there and all my family. And so my uncle Frank, pastors and Chaplain Logan, all of them, they giving a eulogy or whatever you want to call it, and they preaching my sister to heaven and talking about how wonderful she was, how good her heart is, and things of that nature. And I'm saying to myself, I got my kufi on and everything, and I'm like, I don't know what they talking about. All of us going to hell, you know, because none of us, we didn't accept Jesus Christ as our Lord, Savior, that type, anything like that. We all living in, you know, committing sin and all, and we all going, no matter how big and good and nice your heart is. So when that happened, that was the beginning. My mother actually was the beginning and had me start thinking things differently. So when I got out the hole, I didn't give any more coup balls. I was still a Muslim in the computer, but I wouldn't do any more religious talk and anything like that, because I just walked the yard, did my calisthenics workout, that type of stuff. So then when this happened with my sister, you know, it just added to it. And it just so happened that God allowed me the very next month, August 2015, to come back to Spindale. So I gets back to Spindale, and Chaplain Logan is a real good friend of mine, know my whole family. He lived down the street from me and things of that. So he used to talk to me all the time. So I started going to all the services, no matter whenever they call chapel, because I'm searching for something, but I just don't know what it is yet. So eventually that led me to like the prison ministry, the Saturday church that we have at Word of Faith.
Word of Faith would have the Saturday church every Saturday.
Every Saturday, right? Yeah. That led the same church that I used to talk about when the guys used to come, and the big blonde haired women and all this type of stuff. But anyway, so now it led me to that, and I'm, you know, and so I'm feeling some things. So October the 8th, my Aunt Betty, she passed away. My sister was only 55 when she passed away. October the 8th, my Aunt Betty, my mother's last sibling, passed away. And that's when it really hit me. And when, you know, eventually, when they told me, you know, I was sitting on my bunk and I didn't have a Bible. I knew the Quran from cover to cover, but I didn't have a Bible, and something just told me, go in the day, we have a day room with big bookshelves, go in there, and I went in the day room, and I grabbed the Bible, sat down, and I started reading, started from Matthew's, and I felt such peace it surpassed all understanding. I don't know what it is, but me reading it, I read it all the way through the Revelations, and I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. And so I started off at Genesis and and read all the way through to Malachi. And during all this time, you had guys coming up to me, hey man, you gonna have Kubal Friday? You gonna have Jumal Friday? That time, and I'm like, get away from shooing them away, that type of stuff like that. So this is where the change really started occurring. And then what really stuck to me was one day I was at Saturday's church, and I got my kufi, crown, Muslim attire, all of that on. And Douglas, one of the pastors at the church, he read this from Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 14. And it says, "Return, O faithless children of the whole 12 tribes, says the Lord, for I am Lord and master and husband to you. And I would take you, not as a nation, but individually, one from a city, and two from a tribal family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you spiritual shepherds after my own heart in the final time, who will feed you with knowledge and understanding and judgment." And when he read that, he personalized it. Now, and I'm Muslim. He personalized it, and I got the kufi on and all that, and he said, "I chose you, Derek, out of everybody in Spindale," and it just pierced my heart so much. And that's all I started. And so that's when I made the decision. And I told Chap, because I was going out on passes with Jerry Logan and Horace Carlson and them, and I said I'm staying with Word of Faith. And that's where I'm putting my stake in the ground. And this is a year before I even got out of prison. I didn't, my family, all of them, they didn't believe it. They was like, "Oh, that's just some prison talk. When you get out, you'll be here with us," and all this type. And I'm telling them, no, I'm moving in with Word of Faith. I'll stay with.
And we are out of time, and you could probably keep going for a day or so, but God has transformed this man, and I want to tell you, Derek is a miracle, and we love having him. Derek got out a year ago from prison. He joined our church, and it's so hard to believe when you hear these stories, because Derek is one of the happiest guys I know. He has he's always smiling, he's always happy, and God has truly changed his life. We have just a couple minutes left, and what we want to do is we actually have a song. Carol Reynolds is with us again, and her daughter Jessica, and they are going to sing a song called "Jesus Never Fails," and we.
So many souls have trusted him throughout the course of time. So many still reach out to him with broken hearts and minds, and every one of them will say, without exception, that they find that Jesus never fails. Even in the days of old, he led his people through, and then he came and gave his life. He died for me and you, and then he rose again to prove that the word of God is true, that Jesus never fails. Jesus never fails. Jesus never fails. Get behind me, Satan. You cannot prevail, because Jesus never fails. We know this world brings sorrow. It seems so hard to bear. We know we could not make it without Jesus being there. It's so encouraging to know, however deep we're in despair, that Jesus, he never fails. Jesus never fails. Jesus never fails. Get behind me, Satan. You cannot prevail, because Jesus never So what can I do to prove to you? Tell me, how could you deny? No untold facts, no mysteries, it's all so cut and dry. And on the witness stand of your life, I'll be the first to testify that Jesus never fails. Jesus never fails. Jesus never fails. Get behind me, Satan. You cannot prevail because Jesus never fails. We know Jesus never fails.
Yes, amen. And Jesus never fails. Thank you so much for joining us. Word of Faith Speaks Out. We look forward to you coming back to us Wednesday, 8:30. Thank you.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325.
Here are some simple instructions on how to get a tax pro to prepare and file your 1040EZ completely free. Go to an H&R Block office or make an appointment at hrblock.com.
Return must be filed January 5th, 2018 to February 28th, 2018 at participating offices. Additional fees apply for EITC and other additional forms for state and local returns and if you select other products and services. OBTP number B13696.
If you have tax questions, we have answers. Visit the H&R Block in Rutherford County today.
Sky at checkout or call 1-800-635-1825. That's 1-800-635-1825 or go to mypillow.com. Click the 4-pack special tab and use promo code SKY at checkout.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your